Hello everyone, this is Thor Young with Bear Bull Traders, and I'd like to do a recap for you today. It's good to be doing a recap today. Haven't been able to do one for the week, been really busy with some family stuff. Certainly appreciate all the support I've gotten from everybody on that. I want to talk a little bit about pretty much what I talk about every time, which is trading using levels, looking for clear indicators of some kind of upward movement. I had some really solid trades on SQ today. I actually traded Apple today, which is unusual for me. And you'll see why it's unusual for me. I actually did make some good money on it today, but you'll see what I didn't like. And I played with Big a little bit. Big had an earnings catalyst. Played a little slow, but sometimes it's good to have a trade that doesn't just like rock the whole time. You know what I mean? So you can play it while you're doing other stuff at the same time. So first, let's check out SQ. So SQ opened up really strong. I actually tried to take SQ near the open. Right here around 9:34. I wanted to go for a little 5-minute opening range breakup. It looked really, really strong for it, but for some reason I couldn't get filled. I put the order out, but it just kind of stuck there. So I had to, it took so long, I actually took the order off for some reason, but it went up. And then you'll see here, let me get a little bit closer on the 1 minute here. You see, I had to wait a little bit. This was a level I had marked. And which is why I was playing the break of it. And then we came up here, though I waited and we sold off towards this previous daily level. And I'll show you what I liked about that. So notice, wow, that really zoomed out a lot. Notice right here, let me get in here a little bit. There we go. Notice here on this SQ, on this daily, we had 1, 2, 3, all right here, kind of right around this $76 level. So that's why I was really interested in that level, was just because of SQ before it already tried to previously go through there, and even with, the market and everything else like that, it still managed never really to go down through that area. So I was really thinking, what, SQ might be a good opportunity for a long. Plus, it has a catalyst upgrade, which is why it went to $76 yesterday, which I actually traded SQ all day yesterday for that as well. So if you come in here back on the 1 minute, let me see here. I actually have orders still on right now. I'm hoping for a fill at 82.50 on an ad I did. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's keep going over back to the open. So since I didn't get filled here for some reason, which this is where I wanted to get the entry and it would have been perfect, I waited for it to get above this level. It looked like it was holding the level, so I went ahead and went long. It came up, I got a partial, but then it started to look really weak, so I took a little bit more off the position, and then I stopped out at break even, unfortunately. And then pulled back, bounced off of this level, was looking to hold this level, so I went ahead and went long on it. But then it broke through VWAP and I had to stop out. Just playing the levels here. So you see, when I'm playing, I like to play the levels, and I like to take my positions based upon the loss of certain levels. This one was a loss of VWAP. So this one came up here. It came off of here, bounced up, broke through here, so I stopped out down here. All right, now when it pulled back and it held this level this time, I decided to go ahead and go short on it because it looked like we were now going to have a breakdown. I took a partial on it at VWAP this time and then stopped out at break even. And then at this point, I was pretty frustrated with SQ because it was just, the L2 was actually reading really strong for a play up. I decided to play this short just because that's what the pattern looked like it was going to do, and I decided to step away from SQ for a while. So, and I did some other trades in here. I'll show you that for a second. But then to finish out on SQ, again, look what I did. I waited until SQ confirmed and got right back above this level that I played off of earlier, remember? So that's what I was looking for. And what I like to do is look for what's a resistance and what's a support and how they flip. And as you can see here, it came up, pulled back, tested these levels, came back above, came back to test again. So I went ahead and went long here above the level with the loss as a very easy stop out to get some really tight risk to reward. So I could go in with a really nice heavy position here. And I got some great partials all the way up to $82. And then it pulled back, started, the market actually as a whole started to pull off. It sold off a little bit. Now, when I do my ads, one thing I like to do is I like to wait for it to come down and sell off a little bit. Now, notice here, we didn't make a new low here on SQ, right? See, the last time it sold off or did a pullback, it went all the way to 80.15. This time it pulled back and only got to around 81, and almost precisely 81. And then when it closed, you see here it closed with a hammer. All right, so that's a perfect opportunity, to go ahead and get in there. You could look at that as kind of a dragonfly doji. So I went ahead and here I added into my position, my loss on this position now, I adjusted to be the loss of this support area right here at like 80.50. So easy enough, it popped up, I got a little partial, another partial. This ad, by the way, only risked my unrealized from this trade, my remaining unrealized. So that's one of the best things about the free roll that I like to do, is what I'm doing is if it comes down here and stops me out, I just go to break even, but I still made a few $100 on this trade. You know what I mean? So it's a really nice place to be to keep yourself out. Now I'm just really hoping for 82.50, which is apparently going to be too much to ask on this one. So anyway, I'll go over to Big. So Big had a really massive rally today on some bad news. So it was pretty much just a big short squeeze, which was not very nice. But then it came down, and you'll see here after it failed, it kind of pushed against this level I had marked. I thought it was going to break down, so I took a short, but got squeezed out. And then it held there, though, and I was reading some really large bids down here that I was really thinking it was going to go for, and the price was coming in on the bid, not on the ask. So I took another short, and then I put my stop just a little too close, I guess, so I got squeezed out there, but then got right back in because I was convinced this thing was going down. So this third one here was actually a fresh position. My stop was going to be the loss of this candle. So nice spot there. And I got a great breakdown on that one, although it took a while, but kind of struggled getting my entry on this one because I got squeezed a little bit more than I was expecting there, but managed to get it to work out. It made some good money on that one. Apple. So Apple, I played Apple at the Open. Really happy with how I played the Open on Apple since I normally do horrible on Apple. But basically, Apple sold off of pre-market low, which this is what I'm talking about with my pre-market levels. I love pre-market low and pre-market high. I think they're some of the best levels available. So you'll notice we sold off here off a pre-market low, came up on really high buying volume, and then it sold off again to pre-market low, came right back above this level again. I went long, got a nice pop up, and I got some sweet partials all the way up to 264 before getting stopped out at break even. After I got stopped out at break even, it came back above VWAP and it looked strong, so I went long again with the loss of my 260.50 level here as my stop out. Got some nice partials on it real quick, but it came right back down and stopped me out. So, you know, play that one, but then it came up and made a new high and was looking strong, so I took one more position on it, got some nice partials, stopped out, didn't bounce off of VWAP, so I decided to do one more long. It took a partial. This was a pretty small, it wasn't quite that big of a position since I had already made some pretty good money here. I just really didn't want to miss this big move up I was seeing on Apple. So it came back down here and then stopped me out. And then I decided to get away with Apple for a little while. And I think that's when I started trading big. And then I got a really nice move on Apple. Then I missed the big move. I kind of messed around in here trying to get into this position. One reason I have trouble with Apple, I'm not the best at playing like $1 and $2 stops, and I'm working on it. So you can just see here, this is just kind of my inadequacy in this price range, which I'm still trying to work on. But I did manage to get long here from 259.30, and I was feeling really good about it when I got long there, and finally got my breakup that I was reading. And I was reading a breakup on the L2 the whole time, got a great break all the way to 264, added in, got a partial, and then I stopped out at VWAP, and then of course it went off without me, and all the way through pre-market high now. And Apple's, I mean, I think the SPY and everything's really recovering. I think the SPY might try and run back to 300 today, which would be amazing. So we've got my SQ trade, we've got my big trade. Oh, look at that, SQ finally filled me at 82.50. That's beautiful. So that's some great news to finish this out. Moving up on SQ, having a great day trading. Sorry for the longer recap, but I had a lot to cover today, and I figured I haven't done one this week, so I thought you guys would let me listen. Any questions about the trades, go ahead and comment below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks, everybody. Keep it green. Thanks.